Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. On today's episode, something kind of fun. It's a quick tip. It's a Photoshop quick tip for all of you that like to use the Lightroom app to shoot your photos on your iPhone or your Android phone, whatever phone you have, and you have the Lightroom app. It's really nice because you can shoot in camera raw right on your iPhone through the Lightroom app. And I'm going to show you a really cool feature inside of Photoshop. So let's get started. Here we are inside of Photoshop. So take note up here in the left-hand corner. See this little house icon? Just give this a click, and this takes you to the screen that Photoshop launches when you first boot up Photoshop. But on this screen, you can do a lot of things like create new documents, open files, and things like that. But you also have some other things here like Learn, Your Work, Lightroom Photos, Cloud Documents, Deleted things. But let's click on Lightroom Photos because this is what I want to show you today in this quick tip. So let's click on Lightroom Photos, and inside here we'll see all our Lightroom photos from collections that we have made on Lightroom and stored in the cloud, and also any images that you took on your phone using the Lightroom app. And you can shoot in camera raw with that Lightroom app, which is really awesome. I usually like to use that a lot because I want to get, iPhones and Android phones today, these cameras are really sophisticated, and you get some really nice quality images off them. I was out in the woods the other day teaching one of my students, Daniel, right here. Little shout out to Daniel. Hey, Daniel. Anyway, this particular leaf image here really struck me because I like the way this yellow leaf was sitting against these dark leaves around it, these fallen leaves on the autumn floor. Okay, so let's give this a click. Let's click on this. And then see right here where it says Import Selected. Click on that, and it will download that file and open up Camera Raw. Isn't that awesome? And then in Camera Raw, I can hit the Auto button. I always like to start there, hit Auto. And let's just take the exposure and pull it back a little bit because I think it's a little overexposed. And for this image, I want to keep it a little darker and moodier. I think it looks really nice. And it's a little blue in the white balance here. So let me just warm it up with the temperature here a little bit, give it a little bit of warmth in the temperature. And Lightroom gave it a little clarity bump, which I think looks really nice. Maybe I might bring my highlights up a little bit, because I want the highlights in this leaf to show through a little bit more, because to me it's all about this leaf right here. Shadows look really nice. Blacks look good. I'm not going to touch it. Let's go to our details here. Luminance, noise reduction 10, just a small amount of noise reduction. And these are default settings, and 50 on the sharpening I think looks really good. And we can come into our lens here and lens corrections and click remove chromatic aberrations. I always like to do that. Enable profile corrections. So let's do that. And it defaults it to the Apple iPhone 7 back. Okay, so that's looking good. Now I have a couple options here. I can just open this image as a smart object. That's the way I have my Adobe Camera Raw set up. Or if I hold the Option key or Alt key and click this, it'll open up just as a standard image. I have it set for Pro Photos, 16-bit, 300 ppi. So I'm not going to open it as a smart object. I'm just going to hold the Option key down and open it as a copy. And that brings it right into Photoshop. Isn't that cool? You don't have to download images onto your computer and do all this messing around. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fast. That's what I really love about it. So what I want to do with this image, and it looks pretty good right out of the gate here, I just want to darken these leaves up a little bit and draw attention to this yellow golden colored leaf right here. All right, because that's the star of the show to me. So what I'm going to do is get a curves adjustment layer. So come down to the adjustment layer icon, give it a click, and come to curves. What I'm going to do next is just pull down on the curve here just to darken up the image a little bit. Now that darkens everything. I don't want the leaf to be darkened. So I could just paint the adjustment off the leaf and off the stem. But let me show you a little trick here. And it's really easy to do, and this is just going to be a just an introduction to blend if. So if you come down to curves 1 here, double click it, you'll get your layer style dialog box up, and you'll notice right here in this section we have blend if. And this is not a blend if tutorial, but just follow me along here. You might even want to try this out. So I'm going to the underlying layer here. This is the dark side of the image. This is the lights of the image, okay? And this little triangle here will split. If you hold the Option key down and you drag this to the left, I'm taking this adjustment off of the light areas of the image. Can you see the leaf up here, how it gets lighter as I drag this to the left? That's pretty cool, right? And you just adjust it to where it looks nice to you. And you can also take this slider and move it over here a little bit too. And you'll make sure you're not affecting your lightest lights of the image here. And this is a gradation point between here. And if you're happy with that, just click OK. Now you can come back and revisit this by double clicking it and readjusting it. It's totally non-destructive, which is a really nice feature. I'll click OK again here. Let me show you something though. Notice how the stem here is nice and light. This part of the leaf looks good, but the outside edge got dark just the way I wanted it to do, and it did it really nice, and I didn't have to do any kind of layer masking here. So let me click the eyeball here so you can see here's the before and there's the after. Pretty nice improvement, wouldn't you say? I got a lot of nice contrast in here. My leaf is still light in here. Now let me show you the effect you would get if you were just to paint, because you might say, well, Dave, all you have to do is get a paintbrush. I'll type B for the paintbrush. Click on the layer mask and say, you know what, I can just simply erase that. My opacity is 100%. I can simply erase that off the leaf and I can get your same effect. But actually you can't. You got to paint it. Got to take your time painting. Okay. But notice the contrast here. We don't have the contrast in the leaf anymore. Of course, I'd have to come and paint this stem too. But I don't have any contrast in here anymore because what happened with Blend If, it kept the light areas light and it kept the dark areas, it made them darker. All right. So here's the before and after. There's the before and there's the after. And it works and it does an okay job, but check this out. Let me get a lasso tool, lasso around here, and let's just get rid of that adjustment we made here by painting black on the leaf. I'm just going to type the delete key and Command D to deselect. But look at the contrast I have in here. Here's the before and here's the after. I maintain nice contrast. And look at my stem. It's nice and striking and it draws me right into this leaf. So when your eye comes and looks at this image, it says, that leaf is what you want me to see, Dave, right there. And Blend If is a really cool tool to do that. But today's tutorial is a quick tip on Photoshop, using Photoshop to download your photos that you've taken from your camera using the Lightroom application, the camera in the Lightroom application, and shooting with Camera Raw, because you can set that up to shoot as a DNG, which is what I've done here, so you get all that nice information. And these cameras today are doing outstanding jobs. And like they say, the best camera you have is the one that you have with you. I really love how Adobe are incorporating all their apps together like Lightroom and Photoshop, and how we can interwork between the apps, which is really a nice feature. Also with our phones, with the Lightroom app on our phones and that camera in the phone. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And also, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate that you would subscribe and also click the bell notification icon. This way, when you do, every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll know about it. Well, thanks again for joining me today in The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I'll see each and every one of you right here next time. Until then, happy editing.